how quickly were Emily and Ali able to break the game?
Right away. It was right away. No, it's actually very interesting. What I will say is this. So every season we've kind of gone for different vibes, right? Like A Crown of Candy, we went for one vibe, Unsleeping City, we went for another vibe. For this season, we were so excited to get back in the dome. And I talked to my mom a little bit about the core philosophy of Starstruck. And one of her pillars of the core philosophy of Starstruck is that in this galaxy, in this universe, the people who in other sci-fi stories don't get to have fun, they get to have fun in this world. Like, this is a world, like, yes, there are parts of this world that are daunting and challenging and perilous and dangerous, but it's about hot suns, hot guns. It is about wild adventures in space. And so part of the philosophy of this one of like setting our compass to its North Star was, let's just have a goddamn ball. Let's have this season be fun. Let's let everyone off the leash. Let's be as wild and unhinged as we want to be. And as a result of that, what I feel like happened a little bit in this season was sort of like, because I, as a dungeon master, was like, okay, I'm playing too. Like, it's a wild and chaotic galaxy. You never know what's going to happen. Blah, 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 blah. I watched our PCs kind of huddle up and go like, we got to get our head in the game. Like, so weirdly, I think if fans want to see something this season that's a little bit, I think honestly, there's almost a vibe swap between me and the PCs of like me being like, what's the galaxy going to throw at you? And these guys being like, we need to get very serious because we do not have a high chance of survival. Like, they get really on the ball. They also do wild, unhinged stuff too. But when people, that question of like, when did Ali and Emily break the game? I think honestly, this season, Ali and Emily and Siobhan and Zach and Murph and Lou are they're doing more to keep stuff on the rails than I am this season, because that's kind of the premise of the setting, is that the galaxy, like literally the byline of Starstruck is, it's a tough galaxy, but somebody's got to live in it. Might as well be you. My job this season was not to present them like in A Crown of Candy, to present this thing of like, or in other seasons of like, here's a mystery, here's a conspiracy, here is a threat. My job this season was to go, here is chaos, and all of it is dangerous to you, and it doesn't even have to make sense. It is a big galaxy filled with, billions or trillions of planets. What do you want to do? You make sense of it. And so the PCs actually do an incredible job as storytellers this season of like finding a way to survive in the tide of chaos. And it made for a very interesting vibe at the table that I think is unique to this season.
Okay. Do you know the game Among Us?
Yes, I do know the game Among Us.
So this feels like they were the actual crew and you were the imposter on a ship.
Perhaps.
Because the way you describe it is like they did more to keep like things like together,
rolling along. Yeah,
and absolutely in chaos. So.
Yes, 100%. And that was all discussed beforehand. So I was sort of clear about that. I was like, look, like there are, in a season like Mice and Murder, I have to have the rails because I have to know who did it, how they did it, and there's always this agreement between PCs. There's nothing wrong with being on the rails or off the rails. It's really about what's the story you're trying to tell. And so for Starstruck, for this world, which is very much like crew of space mercenaries, countless enemies, big dangerous universe, they're down on their luck, they're out of money, their ship's busted up, what the hell are they going to do? The story does not require me going, come on, guys, you really have to come towards my clues. It was a very, every story has its own structure. Mice and Murder mystery has to be this very linear structure. With this one, I got to kind of go, guys, the structure of this is I made a minefield. Good luck getting out of it, right? Like, here's every bad thing. I don't really care what direction you go because there's problems everywhere. And they have to make these decisions. And so in a weird way, the PCs write the story of this campaign and this season way more, because there's not just one answer.
Hey, thank you so much for watching this interview highlight from Geek Peek. If you're watching this in 2024, you might be pleased to learn we're working on Season 3. And you can become a part of it. By supporting the channel with a one-time donation on Ko-fi, you can unlock an entire hub of exclusive content before everyone else. If that sounds like something interesting to you, check out the link in the description below. Or if you want to keep watching, watch this interview highlight next. I'll see you there.